Hello, everyone, and we reached Survey Thursday, and let's begin with the results of last week. Last week we asked, should we insist on a dress code for the Chazzan? Each person should come to davening as he sees fit or as she sees fit, but for the Chazzan, should there be a dress code? The majority said yes, there should be a dress code. However, a very visible minority said absolutely not, and another minority said not during the week, but yes, on Shabbos. So, something to take into consideration that on the one hand, we would like to encourage Chazanim to lead services. On the other hand, perhaps not at all costs if they're not dressed properly. But even that, maybe there should be a distinction between weekdays versus Shabbos and Yom Tovim. And with that, let's go to the question of the week. Here is the question of the week, and I know this is a sensitive one, but it happens. Our shuls are filled with wonderful people. Some do more mitzvos than averos, and I'm sure that's the case for many of them. Some do averos, sins, and we don't know about it. It's between them and God. But some not only sin, but they actually take pride in doing so. And I don't want to talk about sins against the Torah. I want to talk about sins against the state. Namely, you have a gentleman in shul that prides himself that he goes against the law. It could be he evades taxes and is proud of it, or other laws, and I'll give an example. For better or for worse, the only way two Jews to get married in the state of Israel is via registration by the chief rabbinate. There are people that say we will officiate at weddings that are illegal, namely with no registration through the chief rabbinate. Jewish weddings they are, but against the law they also are. And they pride themselves. They write articles about it. They put themselves on Facebook, and they even say, come arrest me. According to the laws of the state of Israel, it is a felony with up to 2 years in jail for the officiating rabbi, for the chassan, and for the kala. Should we allow such a person to lead services? Or do we say no? Dina de Malchuta, Dina outside of Israel. In Israel, all the more so for other reasons. It's one thing if you sin in private, but it's a totally different thing if you sin in public. And from our perspective, not only doing something illegal, but doing so publicly is actually giving a very bad name to religious Jews. And we don't want a person like that to become a leading figure in our synagogue. Yes, we don't close the doors to anyone. You can be a congregant, but to lead services, to speak from an Amud? Absolutely not. So here's the question. Should we limit the pulpit to people that do not, I repeat, do not engage in illegal activity and pride themselves? If they do it illegally and privately, we don't know about it. But if they do it illegally and publicly, should we say, we don't close the door shuls to anyone, but no, you do not lead services? Looking forward to your answers.